Hi you guys, it's Amy Gretchen. Welcome back to another Project Life Process video. In this video, I'm working through 2017. This is week 1. I'm really excited to get this underway and to get this started. So I just wanted to lay out a couple of things that I'm starting with. So I've pulled out a few Studio Calico products from their January kit from 2017. If you saw my title page, you'll see that I pulled out a few of these cards. I went ahead and printed on one of the cards because I had too much that I wanted to say in just to be able to write, so I typed it up. And just showing you the pen that I'm planning on using is the Faber-Castell. I don't have any problem with combining my handwriting and typed, so I'm going to be doing that in this layout. If you are looking for a tutorial on how to print right on top of pre-made 3x4 journaling cards, I actually will be doing it in this spread, but I'm not going to be having it in this video. So it will be in a separate video. It will probably be coming out a day or two after this one goes live. So look for that coming up. You'll see me using that in this spread. That looking up messy circle came from an Allie Edwards story kit. If you haven't seen Allie Edwards story kit, definitely check them out. A new one comes out on the 15th of every month. I'm really looking forward to the one that just came out actually yesterday on the 15th, and it's going to be shipping. Hopefully it's shipped, so it's coming soon because I definitely want to use that. The next thing that I wanted to mention one more time is if you're interested in how I created these prints, I have a tutorial. I will link it in the description below, but you can also find it under my Lightroom tutorials. It just shows you how to create 2 3x4s with borders or without borders, 4x6s with or without borders. You could easily create that to like a 3x3 as well. So look for that if you're interested to learn how to create prints in Lightroom and also Photoshop. So you can see that I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up now. The first thing that I typically do is cut out any of my 3x4 pictures or anything that I'm planning on cutting out. I'll do that at the beginning. That card I was just pulling out had my address on it, and I decided that that was not something I was going to use for this spread, so I just decided to do it off camera. So I'm just throwing my cards. I have less 3x4 cards this time around because I had a lot more 3x4 pockets. So I end up having a lot more journaling cards than I typically do. So I really liked that this was a change, and I'm typically do the design A, so it was fun to have more 3x4 cards. And I'm thinking about doing that a lot more coming up in 2017. I mean, I'm just going to have to see how it goes. I mean, maybe I'll end up changing my mind, but I really like having a change. I think it's nice to have streamline and to know that I'm doing design A every time, but it's also nice to have a little bit of a change and to have a little bit of a mix up. So maybe I'll do that a little bit more. I definitely did that in 2013, definitely not as much in 2014, 15, and 16. So anyways, hopefully a little bit more this year. Some cards that I was looking through also came from the January. Actually, that may have came from the November or December kit. They tend to get all mixed up, so I can't really remember. Now I'm just going to go ahead and throw all the cards in. You'll see as I work through this spread that I end up changing my mind in terms of like where things are going to go quite a bit. A lot of times I make my decision based on feel. And so when something doesn't feel right, I just start moving things around and mixing things up to see if it makes a difference. And sometimes it doesn't. And so then I, change it back. So you'll see that I kind of go back and forth and mix it up just to see what I think. One of the things that I wanted to point out is I was cutting another 3x4 card out of white cardstock. And this happened to be Basil cardstock, and it's a textured cardstock. I think it's the orange peel, and I'm not using the textured side because I'm stamping on it. But I noticed that it had a brighter white than the Studio Calico cards looked a little bit more gray. So I was trying to debate if I wanted to use them together. But I ended up decided to use it because I knew that I wasn't going to stack the cards on top of each other, so the whites wouldn't be next to each other, if that makes sense. So I went ahead and I pulled over my mega date stamp, and I decided I wanted to do something very similar that I did to week 46 when I went to Amsterdam. I really liked the way that looked, and so I decided that I wanted to do it again. Now I hesitated a little bit because when I went to Amsterdam, I think I had 6 days, and this is 8 days because I'm including both Sundays, so the 1st and the 8th. So I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, if I was even going to be able to fit in the 8. That's why I made them pretty close together. So it ends up, you'll see that it ends up working out. If you've never watched one of my videos before, you'll know that this mega date stamp is one of my most favorite tools that I've recently acquired. Now, if you guys are listening to this in January of 2017, Studio Calico has just brought the mega date stamp back for pre-order. So if you have ever been interested in getting one of these, definitely sign up, buy one, because you never know when they're going to stop doing it. Also, I wanted to say that they came out with a mega timestamp. I am thinking about that. I don't know. I don't tend to use time a lot. That's not as important to me, so I don't know if I'm going to purchase it, but it does look really tempting. So anyways, check those out at the Studio Calico website. I will definitely link it in the description below. So just gonna be cleaning off that date stamp. I don't always clean it off because I tend to use it mostly with black, and sometimes I use it with white, but I just went ahead and decided to clean that up a bit. And you can see, like I said before, I'm just moving things around to see how it feels. And part of it is I don't like when I have a lot of photos and I have a lot of 3x4 cards, I don't like to stick all the journaling together and all the photos together and all like the filler cards together. I really like to spread those things out and the colors as well. So I'm just trying to decide how I want this to go. And really, I can't get a good feel for it until I've written on the cards anyway. So you'll see that I change things a little bit once I've typed and written on the cards. So what you saw me do there is I was just trying to see if that new year, new chances was going to work if I cut it down to a 3x4. And I definitely think that it does. It cut off a little bit more of the C than I was hoping for, but I thought that it worked out. You can definitely read it and you know what it says. And I do like having text that goes off the side of the card. So I was happy with that. And I thought that that looked really good with the date stamp that I did up there in the top. So the green kept throwing me off as well. I really liked the green side because it had the gold foil, but it was bothering me, and I didn't know why. I was hoping it was white on the other side, like white with black type, but I didn't love the gray either. So you'll see that I go ahead and adjust that one more time. Actually, in fact, I think what I end up realizing is that green is the same green that's on my goggles. And so I thought that it worked really well together. So you'll see that like I'm doing it right here, I go ahead and change it back. So I definitely liked having that bit of color. That blue, that green, like I said, really matches my goggles. And I thought it worked really well for that. So now I'm thinking... I know that this is how it's going to go. So I'm putting both the build card and the new year, new chances in. Now I'm going to go ahead and do some journaling. I'm looking on my phone at some journaling I did. This is all about my one little word, which is build. That's my 2017 focus. So I was just looking through my journaling that I did in my notes. It was actually when I was sick, and I was just pulling out some highlights of things that I wanted to put in Project Life. One of the things that I'm debating about doing this year is starting my own album so that maybe I could write more stories about what's going on in my head. I feel like I have a lot of thoughts. So I'm debating about starting a new album, or if I just want to like combine an album about me and my one little word project. Like I'm just trying to debate what I want to do there. So I apologize, my camera lost battery, so it cut off, but I was just writing a little bit of journaling about how I tried to go skiing and I was still sick. So I got sick right after Christmas and I was sick for about a week. And this was, I think, the first day the kids went back to school, and Adam and I tried to go skiing, and after 4 runs, I just couldn't do it anymore. I don't know if I was just exhausted from being sick or if I was just still sick. So that card was about how I still needed to rest. All right, you guys, so I'm just going to switch gears for just a minute. This footage that you're seeing is coming from a tutorial that I'm putting out to show you how to print on an already made 3x4 card. So that should be coming out. I'm going to try and put it out the exact same time that I put out this tutorial. So look for it in the description below. It's actually really easy to do. You need to do a little bit of measuring, but once you get it down, it is actually really easy to do every time. I've only had a couple of instances where it's printed crooked, but mostly it's worked out really great. So anyway, look for that coming up. All right, so you can see that that card is finished and it's got printed on. So I'm just going to slide it into its slot. So the next thing that I'm really thinking about this spread is I feel like I need a little bit of color. And so I pulled over these sticker sheets that I bought from Ali Edwards. I think I bought these in the fall. And there's several, I mean, you get a handful of these sticker word phrases, and I think it was only like $8. I think it's a really reasonable price. So I'm just looking through and trying to decide what phrases would actually go with my photos, because I want to add a little bit of color. And what I also decided to do is I'm going to do a little bit of journaling on a couple of my photos. So I'm pulling over my date stamps. I just want to add the date of when I actually took that photo. And remember, when you're using the date stamp to change the year, sometimes that can totally trip you up. I've totally done that before. So just a reminder there. And then I'm just writing a really brief synopsis of really what that photo is about. And then you'll see that I'm just going to add a little bit of, not a little bit, I'm going to add another one of the sticker phrases. One of the things that I was contemplating actually when putting on that red phrase is, did I want to go over the border or did I want to go up against the border? Like, I haven't really thought of that before because I hadn't come into that and I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. So I ended up just sticking the phrase on top of that cardstock, and I actually really liked the way that looked. So I was happy that that was kind of a happy accident. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do it with the other card. Again, I did not get the 2017 stamped. Awesome. And that's okay. I was trying to stamp it again. Actually, I think I didn't like the way it stamped, and I tried to stamp it again and it just looked smudgy. So I went ahead and just cut another little card. I think that's probably like a 1/2 inch, and I don't even know how long it is. I was just really grabbing paper that I had in my stash. I really love to keep even the smallest bit of white cardstock because I use them for stamps and I use them for like just writing onto my photos. I use them for cutting like circles out of punches. You've seen me do that before. So there's just a lot of uses. So again, I'm looking through and trying to decide what phrase would work. There's a ton of phrases that would work really well with any Project Life spread. So anyway, just wanted to, I don't know if they're still available in the shop, but if they are, I would totally check them out because you get a lot of different colors for such a great price. So the next thing that I'm going to do is grab this messy circle. I decided not to use the looking up messy circle, so I'll use that in another spread. But I'm looking through some of my chipboards and I grab these hearts. I have some gold and blue, but you can see that I decided to go with the gold one. I just stuck that at the bottom. And now I'm just looking over my spread to decide if there's anything more that I want to add. It's definitely feeling a little unfinished. And if you can see as I look, I'm getting a little picky and I'm adjusting things to straighten them out a bit and just trying to decide what I want to do next. I pulled out these die cuts again and I realized that I wanted to put something on the back of the 2017. You could kind of see that white in the back of it. And so I'm just trying to decide what I wanted to do. I liked this little die cut. It's not as long as the other one, but you can't really tell. I don't think you can really tell. It was taller, so I decided to cut it down slightly. But again, you can't really tell that that's not how it's supposed to look. So I just wrote a little something about fresh starts and having hope for the new year. So at this point, I am feeling pretty done with this spread, but there are just a few changes that I wanted to walk you through. So you can see a couple things. That photo of the fridge was not there before. What happened is I went ahead and I was looking through my week 2 photos and I saw that I had this photo that I wanted to put on, mostly because I feel like a clean fridge is a totally fresh start. So I wanted to have that on there. That was also something that I'm doing with my sister-in-law, which is being accountable to one another. So I put that I was going to clean my fridge this week and I didn't want to, and I did it like on this Saturday, but I actually got it done. So I definitely wanted that photo in there. Another thing that you're seeing is just I'm adding more of those red strips. I added a yes onto that little die cut and then one day at a time onto the title page. So I just added a little bit more red. So the last thing that I'm going to be doing with this week is just adding a stamp to one of the 3x4 cards. I pulled out this stamp that came with the January 2017 Studio Calico kit, which is the cards that I have been using as well. This stamp set I believe was designed by One Little Bird, and the stamp says anything is possible, and I thought that that was a great sentiment for the start of a new year, definitely wanting to start off on the right foot. So I'm just trimming that out with my scissors, not worrying about if it's too straight or not. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put that onto that card just to kind of give it a more finished look. And then I'm just going to go ahead and seal up that tab. So one more thing that you're not going to see me do that I want to do is probably use my Fuels tool so that I make sure that messy circle does not fall out. Anyway, you guys, this is the spread for week 1 from 2017. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw and were able to get some inspiration from it. If you have any questions, like always, please leave them in the comments section below and I will definitely get to them. If you'd like to see more of my Project Life spreads and other tutorials, don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you guys like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. We will catch you in the next one. Bye.